So, Diablo 3. Aye. Xbox this weekend past, has just had a free play weekend, so I figured I would give my first impressions on it. I spent 3 hours playing it, just playing the campaign. I've not done the adventure mode or any of the other stuff. Use that information however you will about my opinion. What I'm going to do is talk about a few things that I've noticed in the 3 hours that I've played, and then just give generalised opinions, and then we'll go from there. So, first off, the first thing that hit me straight away was character creation. It puzzled me. Once you get into the game, you can equip gear that changes how you look. You can dye that very gear to whatever colour you would like, and you can even make it look like a completely different set of armour through the transmogrification process, which effectively makes you, or lets you, set a common piece of gear to look like a legendary. So why can't I change my character's appearance? Only their gender and class. That just boggles my mind. For how often you see said face, it pops up during every conversation they actually participate in. You would think they'd allow you to change it at least a little bit. Even The Division had a character editor, albeit a bad one, but it did have one. In the 3 hours I spent playing, my guy's moustache really annoyed me. Really annoyed me. So yeah, just in a game where you can customise so much, not being able to customise your face, that annoyed me. However, it certainly wasn't all bad. Legendary gear from pretty much the get-go. This is something other loot games can definitely take a lesson from. Being able to get any quality tier of armour drops from fighting, chests and merchants from the very start. I enjoy the looter style of games a lot, and I've seen far too many of them suffer from thinking higher quality tiers should be reserved for only the high levels in endgame, meaning you'd never see a base quality item again after hitting a certain level, and likewise only start to see the better tiers of gear after a certain level. This, in my opinion, is an awful way of doing things. I want to get an awesome legendary piece of gear at level 3 that I have to have a fight with myself to take off whenever anything equal or better comes along. That sudden boost of multiple stats over the normal 1 or 2 is amazing at lower levels, and increases both appreciation for the loot system itself, and also betters the understanding of what gear stats actually do, rather than you just sitting with the same 1 or 2 that you think are really vital. Having a piece of gear that gives you 4, you might actually see another stat in effect that completely changes your opinion. And it's also, I experienced this in my 3 hours, having legendary piece and then getting a lesser quality piece that had double the armour of it. I want to have that internal battle. Do I really want the armour, or do I really want the stats this gives me? I like those battles. I don't want to just go, has it got more armour, has it got less? Right, I'm putting on the more armour. I want there to be conflict in multiple different areas. That's the way these sort of games should be. And not really a criticism or a positive for the game. I think I might have just inadvertently picked the overpowered class. I certainly don't think it will be a case of all of them can fall into the same bracket as what I was managing to do during my gameplay. The Demon Hunter was absolutely ridiculous. I felt like I was cheating. I really did. Positive I never dropped below half health in combat. Due to barely ever being hit, and when I was hit my attacks would almost instantly regenerate my health thanks to armor stats. Granted, I was only playing on normal, but I still expected somewhat of a challenge at some point in the first 3 hours. Didn't come. I even exclaimed when I did take a hit at one point. And of course she becomes more powerful. Jesus! What the fuck was that? That shouldn't be happening. But again, I do think I just happened to pick the overpowered class. And when you combine the right abilities, because I mean, without the specific set of abilities that I had picked, certainly wouldn't have been as overpowered. But just the fact that those were options for someone that's played these sort of games before, I knew which ones I was going to benefit from the most, and I could exploit it. So recently, the only game I've played that this is anywhere near comparable to is Neverwinter. First off, Neverwinter is free to play and does get pretty constant updates. Straight away puts it in a good place, good guys in my book. Gameplay wise, they're both pretty damn similar. Differing classes somewhat, and variation in weapons and such, but very much the same. Different camera angles. This is top down. Neverwinter is free roaming camera with sort of third person. But the main difference I felt between the games from the time I played was just the difference in how they looked. Diablo 3 does indeed look better. I'm not sure if Diablo 3 with a free roaming camera would have to cut back on some of the looks, but it certainly did look better. So now on to your general review terms. Gameplay wise, it played well, fluid for the most part. The only time I felt a delay in an action happening was one of my abilities activating. It seemed to have a slight delay, which did sometimes lead to me using it twice instead of just the once. But again, I think that was just as a sort of delay mechanic to stop you from being able to use that to get away from a death shot. From the little I remember of Diablo 2, and we are going back to we're talking maybe 16 years, between 16 and 20 years here, it did feel very much like that, which is appreciated. Story wise, the story was somewhat samey from the little I experienced. End times prophesied, signs from the sky or heavens, bad stuff starts happening. Nothing amazing, but not awful. Just, yeah, kind of generic. Graphics wise, looked good, at least as far as a top down game can do really. Ability effects were pretty nice, and it was clear when something was afflicting specific enemies. Sound wise, battle and environment sounds were pretty good. Always felt immersed in what was going on, be it me exploring or actual fighting. Voice acting was a bit meh though. Sometimes conversations felt as though they stopped too abruptly, like there were supposed to be more, or they just felt a bit flat. The game certainly got replay value. It's also got an entirely new game mode in the adventure mode once you finish the campaign, but I've not been able to dabble in any of that. Only difference I can kind of find from a few searches is that it's open world, like kind of what you would be expecting, rather than the campaign and the linear progression through that. So certainly more of what previous Diablo players would likely have been expecting. There's also the fact multiple classes, so they in themselves add more replay value, because if you want to get a sampling of them, you're going to play them as well. So all in all, my 3 hours spent in the game were quite enjoyable. Yeah, the game has a few flaws, but it definitely does some things exactly as they should be done. Looking at you, loot system. Given my hefty backlog of games, this isn't something I can justify spending the £39 it's currently on offer for, but certainly something I'd happily make a series or two about if I somehow came into possession of a key for it. You know, just if one was bestowed upon me. But the chances are very slim. But I certainly could lose a lot of time in it. But the fact that I felt I was somewhat cheating would certainly be something I'd be interested in testing against some of the end game things with my Demon Hunter. So there you have it, my first impressions of Diablo 3. There will not be very much more of this, like I said, unless I somehow come into possession of the game. Not something I can put the money into, but certainly something I could lose a lot of time into. Hopefully you found my opinions useful, helpful. If you have, let me know in the comments below, it'd be good to hear. Also let me know if you happen to be a Diablo 3 player, if the Demon Hunter is just an overpowered class, or whether they're all just kind of overpowered in their own way. But anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Gonna make this more of a regular thing, just putting a couple hours into a free play weekend game and then giving my opinions on it, seeing how you guys like it, and then we might take things further from there. If you did like this sort of a thing, let me know, because I would like to make more of them, but if there's no interest, then I'll certainly not waste my time. But for now, thanks for watching again, take it easy, adios.